All right, recording has been started. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. We have our AMA with FarmerDoge, and Aaron will be speaking for us. Let's talk about the start of FarmerDoge.
Yeah, well, first off, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Um, FarmerDoge started about 19 months ago. It was originally developed by a group of, I guess, an old group of whales that had continuously been wrecked in projects together, and the team sort of got together and they're like, let's create something for ourselves where, this doesn't happen anymore. And just let's create a safe space for people to be investing. And I think a couple months in, ironically, one of the old developers that was, I think, the co-developer at the time, he actually wanted to rug it. So our CEO, Quest, said, well, that's not happening. And we brought him out and continued to push on. And Quest, he pushed hard for a few months, and everyone was sort of wondering where it was going. And then it took off, and we hit a market cap all-time high of about 152 million, which was just absolutely crazy. And got good eyes on us. At the peak of our all-time high, we had the Binance. That's when they did the Bruno hard fork, and that adjustment ruined how our gas sort of played out with the rewards distribution, and we actually had to pause trading at one of the most interesting times of our lives, I guess. And we basically put up with that and created a new contract, and it's been crazy times, but we've pushed through some highs and lows, and we are starting to partner up with a lot of projects now, and it's starting to turn towards real world business and stuff, and trying to integrate everything into FarmerDoge to bring revenue in through multiple streams and stuff. So here we are today.
Hey, damn. So it sounds like, damn, that's actually it's pretty crazy. Why is the price not tracking if it's a new contract?
Tracking how so? Sorry?
So, for example, if you used a new contract, couldn't it restart the entire tracking process so it wouldn't see the all-time high, right?
I think you
Because
can see it. It's not through Dex tools. I don't think it tracks our V1 and V2 and stuff. But yeah, I'd have to find that. I haven't seen our charts in a while. You
okay,
definitely can't see that from V4. Yeah.
all right. So pretty much, I guess each version you've been updating the contract.
So a little bit about the contracts. V1 worked great until that Bruno hard fork. That was unfortunate. V2 was created by our old dev who I don't know, he was a bit spiteful, hard to get a hold of, and he launched it. I don't think much testing was done, so that never really worked out. We had a third party do our V3, which worked wonderfully, and we actually ran on that for about 8 or 9 months. The only reason we moved to V4 was to turn it into a proxy contract, which gives us the ability to make changes in the future, because there's markets forever changing, and with a proxy contract there's no immutable code, so we're able to basically adapt to the market without any more project migrations, which was seemed to be our biggest thing to overcome. So we've got rid of that, and now we can focus on development finally. But yeah, we're on V4. It's our final contract. It's an absolute masterpiece. There's no hiccups at all. Our current dev, he's really awesome. He's helped us out a lot, and he's a great builder. So Yeah.
To be honest with you, man,
Crazy
why didn't
stuff.
you just restart like a whole new name, a whole new, pretty much a whole new project? It sounds like, I mean, I am like pretty happy that you kept pushing, but I felt like it should be to a point to where I would just have like rebranded everything. Has it been Farmer Doge since the beginning?
Yeah, man, we stuck to it. Look, it has been talked about, and we are just really stuck with FarmerDoge as a name. Like we love it, and we love what it's going to be about, and we want to be those people who have just continuously, pushed through the hard times and come out on the other end all right. And yeah, we've kept the FarmerDoge name, and it's really going to tie in a lot to what we're currently doing, how the tokenomics work and stuff, and then also with our future development builds and stuff. So yeah, we've kept that.
How did you all get to the $125 million market cap? I'm really interested. Did you just wake up during the bull run and was like, wow? What stuff did you all do, like marketing? What exposure? What got people so into Farmer Doge?
Well, at that stage, I wasn't like officially a part of the team. I was just an investor. My brother was on the team. He invited me into one of the original groups that the teams were on, and I was sort of just watching back then. But yeah, I had a decent bag, and it just started moving. Quest, he's in Laos, and he's a pretty well connected guy in the Southeast Asian markets and stuff. He knows a few guys, and we had, back then we had a lot of whales backing us, and I guess the market sentiment was just, ripe for the picking, and yeah, it just moved. It just moved, and honestly, you could say we weren't even ready for it, and that there wasn't like much because it was so early in the project, and we were just a meme coin then. So it was like, well, what do we do? This is crazy. But yeah, we that's just how it happened. Yeah, it was mental. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what.
I mean, to be honest with you, it's an amazing story, right? You start a project, it's supposed to be just a meme, and then all of a sudden it blows up. And obviously, tough roads happen with projects. So I definitely understand that, sometimes you have to adapt. And it sounds like you all have adapted a lot for certain conditions. Honestly, though, so you said that at first you weren't a part of the original team. How many people of the original team are still around?
Yeah, so there was a group called the uh, OGs, and I think there was like maybe 22 guys in there. Um, and when I started, I started seeing like, obviously when the contract had its first issues, the team was getting pretty burned out with the whole stress of the high market cap, people having thousands of dollars. There was stress for us to continue pushing, so a lot of guys were getting burnt out, and that was sort of where I just started stepping in, and I've just done my best ever since. But we basically created a new team with guys that wanted to come over into it. We still keep the old chat too, just to keep in touch with everyone. But our current team has about 23 or 24 guys in it. There's maybe 8 to 10 of us that, really get into FarmerDoge and do the work, covering everything from front end work, back end work, web development, social pushing, admins. We've got guys creating our graphics. We've got our AMA guy. Basically, myself, I coordinate everything and push like all of the development that needs to be done. And yeah, we just talk about everything on the team together, and we've got a few advisors there. So yeah, big team.
Of course, definitely love to hear about a big team. It's just interesting how the projects kind of evolved from being so different to being now what it is today, even though the roots are still the same. So here's a question I'm really curious about. What is the utility of Farmer Doge right now? if there is or if there isn't. No big deal if there is or not.
So the main utility with the token is that the contract allows us to switch the rewards token. So let's say, for example, we're farming coin merge one month, the next we could be farming Zononymous and rewarding that out to all our holders. So through our tokenomic taxes, through buys and sales, or currently just sales, our contract will buy the farmed token and distribute it to all the holders, depending on volume and how many tokens they have. Every month we make this fun by, we choose 3 candidates that are in the BSC space. They can be native or pegged to BSC. And we, give them out. We do a write-up, and we have links and stuff, and we even offer all the candidates to come in for an AMA, and we talk to the community about it, and we educate the community about other projects in the space, and it helps with exposure for them, and it helps with networking with us. And we put out a DAO vote after about 3 or 4 days, and the community, our crop holders, they get to vote on which token they want farmed in the upcoming month. So yeah, that's our main utility.
That's very interesting. So just so I have an understanding, the way it works is it's all volume driven. So in order for users to get rewards, there has to be cells on the chart, right? For right now?
Correct. Yes, correct.
I understand why you're trying to create a new revenue model, because obviously it's very hard to sustain a system where you're taking from sells or buys and then constantly recycling back to holders. So I definitely understand why you want to create a revenue-based system. So can we kind of touch on what FarmerDoge is doing right now to eliminate that, the old method of farming technically, and what new revenue models you're planning to build to increase longevity and sustainability for FarmerDoge?
Yeah, sure. So end of last year, we fully overhauled everything. New white paper, new website, new roadmap. Our roadmap was coming to an end anyway. A big thing for this year is developing things that do bring in revenue, because as you said, the tokenomics is, it's not sustainable. One of the main things we're focusing on and has just started right now is building an e-commerce marketplace. And we've been talking to a lot of businesses and even farmers who want to get involved with this. We've got a lot of partners that want to be involved. But basically, we're going to create a place, let's say, I don't want to compare us to Amazon or anything, but it will be the same, using affiliate links and having people's products on there. We've already got people with products like greenhouses, waste management products, fertilizer, trees, plants, generators, bunch of other stuff. So it's going to be, to start with, quite an industrial marketplace, and we hope to start listing them soon, and once the development's done, and then we can sort of use that to start growing from, and getting awareness about it and getting more businesses on it, and having them do what they do best and run it through the marketplace. Another thing that we want to do after the marketplace is create a listing platform for blockchain games. We're going to start that with our partners' games and any future FarmerDoge games that we have, and once again open that up to other projects. And obviously it doesn't have to be revolved around finance or anything. We can have any games on there. So I think that's also going to be an exciting venture that we travel down. Also, revenue profits from both of those will be supporting CROP, which is our community relief outreach program. which is going to be a charitable organization where we are obviously using the funds to buy food from partnering farms around the globe to do food drops and stuff to their local areas and just help people, I guess, access food better and more freely. And there's going to be educational tutorials for people to win crop rewards, and they can use that maybe in the marketplace. And it's just going to be this beautiful all-in-one ecosystem. There's the e-commerce marketplace, we've got the FarmerDoge gaming, and we've got the community relief outreach program, which is our main focus for this year.
See, I love the e-commerce idea. It's actually something that we flirted with as well. We definitely wanted to kind of do similar to like that Amazon style, to where not only can you buy gift vouchers in hundreds of countries, you can buy millions of products from the website as well. If you want to buy, let's say, a vacuum, I don't know, it's something random, or you wanted to buy clothes, or if you wanted to buy shoes, or possibly a coffee maker, etc. So we've definitely thought about incorporating products as well. So if you ever want to talk about that and see how we can, work together in achieving that mission, because I do think that the e-commerce store is actually very unique. The hard part, which we already have figured out, is how do you pay out the suppliers, right? Because no matter what, those suppliers, they don't want crypto. They're not going to accept crop, and they're not going to accept ZA either. They want Australian dollar, they want US dollar, they want their native currency at the end of the day. So we can definitely talk about possibly integrating that way for both of us, just because I understand the struggles of trying to do an e-commerce business with cryptocurrency without having some type of backing of a financial institution. So I do love that idea. Yeah. So touch on, do you have any mock-ups or anything that you plan for the new marketplace? I would love for you to share it with the community. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was always hesitant of meme projects and meme tokens, right? But I'm very impressed that you still loved the idea of the whole like name FarmerDoge, but you wanted to incorporate it into an actual real case, real utility project. So honestly, I'm kind of impressed with regards of like where you're trying to go and really turn this project into something that people actually use every single day.
Yeah, and it's definitely easier said than done. There's so much work involved, but we love a challenge at FarmerDoge, and we don't want any barricades to be in front of us. So taking on the marketplace is it's a big deal, and we're super excited to jump into it. We basically this week I've been doing lots of writing for. I don't have anything to share here. Obviously, it's very early, but I've been writing up, I guess, conceptual ideas and a visualization for how the marketplace is going to work. I actually sent a draft off to our developer last night. So where I've been at currently is, working through the whole sign-up process for general logins, sign-ups, logins, logouts, and then there's the merchant application form, because everyone's going to have to apply, and we're going to have to look over everything to, for content control purposes. We want legit businesses coming in, and so there's going to be a process there. They're going to be getting a code that allows them to go through the merchant sign-up. And then there's going to be a merchant dashboard, and that's going to have maybe 3 or 4 sections where they can fully control everything from their end. So it's quite hands-off for us. They'll be able to basically create an ad space for the business page with like their name, their logo, their links, products display and stuff. And then there'll be the actual marketplace. So they'll be able to upload their products or link their products through with their prices and everything. And obviously we're going to be using affiliate links. We want the merchant to be able to set what percentage of their revenue goes to the FarmerDoge markets. It's going to be 1% minimum to cover fees and just have it basically operational. We're also thinking about having an influencer program. So influencers will be able to come in and, shield products, push products for businesses and get a cut for any sales. What else is there at the moment? We've been talking about revenue splits and how that's all divided up. And basically what I've been working on in the last week and have sent to the developer is going to be the shell for everything. And then we're going to look at it and just build off that.
What are you going to do about international shipping? Are you just going to kind of pass that off to the users or the sellers? Do you plan on doing it region based, or do you plan on it being international?
Being a third party in this, it will be shipping and inventory and, returns and stuff is with the vendor. We were thinking of having like specific merchants come in to cover certain categories. So we would be supporting, potentially hundreds and thousands of businesses. They're all supplying a certain product and we're supporting them through the marketplace. I think there's going to be some merchants that, they only distribute to certain areas of the world. So we find, a rival within the marketplace that, they cover other areas. And, obviously when you're shopping, you're going to like options for products and brands. So we are going to have, maybe a few merchants that do the same product. Maybe there's different prices involved. But yeah, we will try to cover it globally. And lots to work on.
Yeah, one thing I would actually really love is if you kept the theme, right? Because one thing that I think FarmerDoge is like when you first hear the name, you immediately you think farming, right? You think crops. I do love how the name of the token is crop, right? I do really like that. One thing I would like though, and this is just like me throwing out an idea, right? I think it would be amazing if the e-commerce store was specific to like actual crops. For example, fruits, vegetables, and users could buy use their crypto for fresh ingredients. I think that would be really cool and unique. I'm just trying to fit in the theme of FarmerDoge with the theme of the store, because one thing you don't want doing is it's FarmerDoge, but you're selling boots on the store, right? Or something like sneakers. So I am interested in like the angle. Obviously, it's a very new concept. It's just very like interesting that it was a meme at first. It's migrated into much more of an idea. So would you call yourself the founder, or not founder, but the lead of FarmerDoge currently?
Well, for the first part, we actually have something to do with the food distribution issue, and that will probably be more on the community relief outreach program side of life. We have an upcoming partner that probably won't come in yet, but they're called Open Food Network, and they basically help communities in local areas grow and distribute within their region. And we're going to be doing lots of let's say programs or charitable events with them, and even be signed up to the OFN network. And we are going to be partnering with a lot of farms and helping, I guess, with the food distribution issue that is large at the world. That is one of our bigger things, to keep with the theme of FarmerDoge and just us as a team wanting to help people around the world. That is one of the things we'll be focusing on. And as main lead, you could definitely say, I do a lot of the work for FarmerDoge. We've got our CEO, Quest. He's been out of action for a month or so. He had a big accident, a road accident just before Christmas. So we're giving him some recovery time, obviously. But he's super well connected when it comes to real world businesses and things that enter Laos. in Southeast Asia. So, and he brings in a lot of our partners, and we have big ideas together. But currently, I'm, you could say, steward to the throne, and I'm just doing my best every day, and helping the team, and getting as much development information as I can and knowledge for myself, because it doesn't come naturally to me. I'm an electrician, so I spend most of my nights listening to podcasts or reading, and just diving into things, and I really enjoy it. So yeah.
Does FarmerDoge have any audits for their contracts?
Yeah, we have a audit for our V4 currently. That was done by DeFi Skeptics. It's a clean audit. They found no errors in our code, which is good. But obviously, before the marketplace release, that's going to have to be audited separately or together as a bundle. And that's also going to have to be a registered business. So something we've been talking about doing is created like a corporation umbrella. So let's call it, for example, Quest Incorporated. And then under that will be the subsidiaries, which would be FarmerDoge, FarmerDoge Markets, FarmerDoge Gaming, and the Community Relief Outreach Program. And they will all be partnered sister projects that feed each other. So that's something we're going to have to do to be on the business level. And then, yeah, of course, there's going to have to be audits for all of that.
Okay, definitely love to hear it. What about KYCs? Is everyone on the team KYC'd? What do you all think of being KYC'd and being doxxed?
We don't have like official KYCs. We're all happy to show our face. We're all doxed on the website. Swoop, who was with us yesterday, he has his own call channel. He actually does, voice videos and everything, like face videos, sorry, and shows his face all the time. We're all pretty open and honest people, but yeah, KYC is just something we haven't really got around to yet. I'm pretty sure everyone that is on the website and white paper doxed would be happy to do a KYC.
Okay, from an investor standpoint, how do you plan to market your all's upcoming e-commerce shop? Because it does sound really interesting, right? I'm definitely curious on the plans for actually marketing it. Have you thought of any strategies?
It's a bit of a while off, but we'll just push it through influencers and social media. We'll use just we've been networking for years. There's heaps of people we can bounce off. We'll pay for probably some marketing around that area. We will have lots of businesses that will be listed basically with the opening of the marketplace. So we'll get them to help us push it as well. And it's going to be a big word of mouth kind of situation with us reaching out to businesses, so that it's kind of like they're supporting us, we're supporting them. And but yeah, we haven't really dived into that side of things yet. It's more, you could call it pre-alpha stage, and getting everything organized and conceptually functional at this stage.
No, I definitely get what you mean. It's more of just like kind of like an idea, or at least the very beginning stages of turning an idea into an actual business. But one thing I will say is I'm definitely excited that you all are trying to do something that's sustainable to create longevity. And it sounds like you really do work on FarmerDoge a lot. I've actually been in talks with you for a while. You do sound honest. But yeah, man, I'm really excited to see the marketplace. I want to see how well it's developed. Do you have any timelines for it?
Not yet. Honestly, I wanted to start it in like early January, but we were still sorting out getting the website live, which we did, and then we had like the dashboard user interface that we updated, and just getting our ducks in a row behind the scenes. Another thing that we decided to do and have been talking about as well, that maybe stopped us from starting the marketplace straight away was, and this is a non-roadmap goal, but we were talking about staking, native staking. Our dev, got he's got the code written up for we want to have native staking where, and this is kind of, I guess you could say, rare for a rewards token, but you're going to be able to stake crop to earn crop, but also continue to earn your rewards from the tokenomic taxes. So that's another little side thing we've been working on. But yeah, we hope to start the marketplace in January, but it just sort of started mid-February. And it's one of those things that when you start doing it, you sort of see this, like the scarce, the scale of the marketplace and like how big it really is. So it's as we get into it, it's a big project, and I don't think we can put a timeline on that yet. I would definitely hope it's done by the end of the year.
One thing I will say, and this is like just from personal situations, I definitely think that FarmerDoge has to have some type of sustainable way to generate revenue. Obviously, the marketplace is that, because one thing, staking already kind of inflates, right? Because you're giving out value without putting value back in. And then the farming from the taxes is then sold to then buy other tokens to then give to users. So the only way to really have the sustainability and the longevity is the marketplace. So I'm definitely excited with where that goes and how it actually becomes.
Yeah, I agree. An alternate source of revenue is our main goal and our main focus for 2023 for sure.
You've answered all of my questions in regards to what FarmerDoge was about, how it was started. You even touched on kind of the roadmap and how it's migrated from different contracts to different versions. We've even discussed a lot about kind of the future plans of FarmerDoge, how it was originally a meme and now you're turning it into more of a utility token. Is there anything more that you would like to touch on?
That's us in a nutshell currently. We've been around for well over a year. We've been honest to ourselves in the community. We offer, basic token utility, and we are aiming to, absolutely just shoot this thing out of the sky one day with real world utility, partnering with real world businesses and integrating everything into the real world, which is no small feat. And we are super excited to just get it underway and absolutely push it. And there's really big things coming for us, and we've got a great team. Everyone's capable. We're able to achieve our roadmap goals as a team, and we've got great in-house developers. So we're just gonna put our heads down and hustle.
Of course, man. Again, thank you for coming out to the Zonymous community. We'll turn it over to some questions, but in regards to my questions, you've pretty much answered them. Everything from kind of the beginning to your plans. One thing I will recommend though, and this is just, casual conversation, I do think a rebrand's important. We kind of did a rebrand just because I think it can be very significant because some people can get lost in what it was. Like, for example, I had community members ask me personally. They're like, "Hey, boss, it's 700 times less than the all-time high. Can you please ask him why?" Obviously, we understand why, because you kind of outlined what happened with the contract, how it was a little buggy. It was during the peak of everything. And usually when it's at the peak and something like that happens, which is sort of big, right, to an extent to having to migrate to a new contract, it then creates kind of like a downward spiral of fear. Even though you all are being transparent and honest, it still creates fear. And then fear usually results in selling. So one thing that I would say, and this is just my personal advice, obviously just take it with a grain of salt, I do think a rebrand might be really beneficial because you all have the experience, you all have the team, you all have the transparency, you all now have the vision on what you truly want. I just think personally that rebranding the entire thing and starting from scratch might actually be exactly what FarmerDoge needs in the next version. But that's just completely opinionated. You all love the name and you all like the idea of sticking from the roots from the beginning to the end, which I applaud completely, right? I completely give it respect, if anything. These are just
Yeah,
opinions
no,
from me.
I agree. And, I think that rebrand idea, it's not something we're looking at now, but I think it has been lurking. I think once we're not even set on the FarmerDoge Markets name, we're just calling it FarmerDoge Markets. So I think once we start really getting to like the launch date for everything, that might be something we look into to fully just, before it launches, rebrand and get it out that way. Yeah, but
I
for
think
now, we're
it'd be
just
very
working with what we've got. Yeah.
I just personally think it would be very powerful because it's almost like a statement saying it's new.
Yeah.
It's kind of shying away from even being a meme at all because a lot of people, some people love memes, some people don't. I just think that where you all are headed with what your vision is, right? Right now, it's still a vision. I would even go as far as it's an idea. It's a seed at this point in
Yeah.
time. I think in order for that seed to truly blossom, just like a crop would, you have to water it. You have to put sun into it. You have to put love into it. And as crazy as that sounds, your idea, which is again kind of a seed right now, it could blossom to something else other than just FarmerDoge, which is kind of, I think, in a sense, kind of holds it back a little bit. Only because yes, you all are doing a whole bunch of new stuff, but at the end of the day, people are going to look at the history of the project. They're going to look at the chart and they're going to say, "Wow, they are doing something new, but it's so far from where it was." And that's not what you want from an investor's sentiment. You want people to say, "Oh, look how far close it is to the high. How much higher can we go?" I think from an investor standpoint, when you look at something and it's really far down from where it was, it's almost like I'll put my money into it, but I would feel better about it and ate more into it if we were closer to where it was, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree. And, I think, moving away from the meme eventually would be a necessary thing. Even getting away from the Doge name, because, that's just where we launched and we've kept that name. But we want to be obviously unique. We're our own people. Our project is ours. We're trying to achieve things that I don't think have really been fully tackled. And so moving away from at least the Doge name even will be a big part of moving forward.
I 100% agree, man. And this is just me talking business partner to business partner, or also business relationship to business relationship, right? Because we do collaborate together, and I care about your all success because your all success reflects on us. If you have strong partners, you yourself are strong as well. So I'm not trying to negate FarmerDoge at all. I'm only throwing opinions based on my assessment from your all's AMA, and I truly do believe in your vision, and I do believe you are honest. I just think shaking away the past and a fresh restart is not a bad thing at all. If anything, I only see upside.
I love it. I love your opinion, and I love having honest advice. And it's really great to have partners that truly do care and do put their honest opinion and thoughts out there, because it does help us conceptualize and think about things. And it's it's better than not speaking the mind, or not speaking up when you have the option to. So we love feedback, and I appreciate that you care, and we're going to care right back. And I hope that we can work together for a long time and build something that's truly functional and just beautiful.
Of course. Well, I want to thank you so much, Aaron, for coming to the Zonymous AMA. I can check and see if there was any questions in the Telegram. But other than that, man, I think you did a great job, and I really can't wait to see what FarmerDoge evolves into.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you having me. Appreciate the time you've taken to host this today, and yeah, to a brighter future, brother.
To a brighter future. So I'm going to wait for any community questions. I'm going to give it about 2 to 3 minutes. And then after, if there's none or if there is, we'll then end the recording and then end the AMA.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Cool bananas.
All right, we have Seawolf that's typing right now. And then after, depending on what he says. Oh, here is Jesus. What is your global expansion plan? At present, which market do you focus on building and developing to win customers?
So with some of the partners we have lined up in the background already, we're hitting areas like Laos and Southeast Asia and North California for our partners. So we're going to start with them. They're farming partners and obviously merchants for the marketplace. So, you know, we're starting in the States and we're starting in Southeast Asia. And our plan is just to grow from there on out. The marketplace will be quite industrial. So I think like our target audience will be farmers and, you know, merchants with like sustainable living products. You know, as I said, we're going to be selling greenhouses, aquaponics setups, waste management products, you know, plants, seeds, fertilizers. So I think that's going to be our starting point. And globally, you know, I guess it's just a matter of reaching out to different businesses and trying to fill in those category gaps and, you know, shipping locations and stuff.
Okay, we'll see if there's any more questions. If anyone has any other questions, don't be afraid. You can always go on mic or type it. It doesn't matter either or.
Good question, Jesus. Jesus.
Okay, it looks like no one's typing. Looks like everyone's happy. Thank you, Jesus, for your question. FarmerDoge, I'm ending the AMA right now.
Thanks, guys.